This is Coffee with God, and I am Father Jose. Let us begin this day with the Word of God and a short reflection.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew, chapter 9, verses 18 to 26. Passage taken from the Message version of the Bible. As he finished saying this, a local official appeared, bowed politely and said, "My daughter has just now died. If you come and touch her, she will live." Jesus got up and went with him, his disciples following along. Just then a woman who had haemorrhage for 12 years slipped in from behind and lightly touched his robe. She was thinking to herself, "If I can just put a finger on his robe, I will get well." Jesus turned, caught her at it. Then he reassured her, "Courage, daughter. You took a risk of faith, and now you are well." The woman was well from then on. By now, they had arrived at the house of the town official and pushed their way through the gossips, looking for a story and the neighbors bringing in casseroles. Jesus was abrupt. "Clear out. This girl isn't dead. She is sleeping." They told him he didn't know what he was talking about. But when Jesus got rid of the crowd, he went in, took the girl's hand, and pulled her to her feet alive. The news was soon out and traveled throughout the region. The Gospel of the Lord.
Reflections on the Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 9 verses 18 to 26. Today's Gospel story shows Jesus healing two women. Their very different stories intersect before the healing power of the Master. The first was a young woman from a good family whose future is shattered by a senseless death in the prime of her life. The other, older and marginalized, for being impure, loses her health because of an incurable haemorrhage. Apparently, there is nothing in common between them except the need to be rescued for life by someone with the power to do so. In both encounters, Jesus avoids the limelight. In the case of the young woman, the initiative corresponds to a bold gesture of her father, who begs for the Master's intervention. On the other hand, the older woman takes alone the determination to steal a miracle from Jesus, going so far as to violate something very sacred for the Jews. The bangs of the robe were a reminder of God and His law, and to touch them, being impure, was a real sacrilege. Let us contemplate Jesus to understand. Let us look behind His conduct and His words for a light that we also need. The story of these two women can be our own story. Jesus allows Himself to be reached by both of them. He neither excludes them nor makes it difficult for them. He doesn't ask them any questions about them. He does not look at their motivations. He does not put any kind of price, economic or moral, on His immediate intervention. He is meek and free. He does not look at the appearances but gives off unmistakable scent of love. Nor does He look for social or religious classes. He is moved by the pain and reacts to sickness and death. Jesus' reaction is sobering. He does not say, "I am the one who heals you or brings you back to life." He only pronounces the strange phrase, "Your faith has saved you," and takes the sleeping girl by the hand. He avoids emphasizing the authorship of the miracle to highlight the value of that faith capable of the impossible. Jesus comes into contact with those excluded from the society, the lepers, the abandoned. We keep a prudent distance from those situations or persons who can alter our lives, which can complicate our existence. What better way to communicate the life we carry within us than to come into contact with those who need a gesture of affection, a word of life, a hug of consolation or encouragement? May not inhibition, indifference, or disinterest prevent us from touching reality, from getting in touch with people. We will give life like Jesus in this gospel, and we will receive life like the sick woman, because in the needy we will also find strength of grace if we know how to reach them.